Welcome to Quadratics Lesson 1 of a series all to do with quadratics. Now, first of all, quadratics are expressions or equations whose highest power is 2. And so you see it as x to the power of 2 or x squared. And its shape, if you were to draw its shape out, would be a rectangle. And as you can see here, there's a picture of a playground. And when I was at school, they used to call it the quad, short for quadratics, or the quadrangle rather. So this is my old quad. You can see it's a rectangle, and what we're going to do is we're going to look at this particular one, the football pitch, and divide it into two parts. So on the left here you can see I have a square, and on the right here another rectangle, but that isn't a square, and I'm going to label these as well. If I know that the top side here, if I know this point here is 6 meters, but I don't know what this dimension is, then I'm going to have to give it another value, a value that says, I don't know what it is, but I'm going to give it, also known as a variable. So here we go. I've labelled it as x, the unknown, and 6. And this area now is x times x, x squared, you see the power there, and this one is going to be 6 times x, 6x. So I end up with something like this. Now my problem is here, this is an expression, so I can write this expression for this area as x squared plus 6. But what if I actually want to solve a problem? Say I want to know what is x if I know the total area is 55 square meters. So what I need to do is I need to find the value of x, and I need to use my expression to help. So I can take my expression and make it into an equation. X squared plus 6x equals 55. So here I now need to find out what my value of x is. And that's what I'm going to look for. And there are a variety of ways of doing this. Firstly, I could look at trial and error, but that's way long and it could take forever. And sometimes it's not going to be a whole number, an integer, so it could be very complicated to do. So I'm going to factorize, meaning I'm going to take out a common factor that's in this equation, x squared plus 6x, that side of it all. I'm going to take out what's common, and as you can see, I can take out the x, and it becomes x bracket x plus 6. So I am now going to look for two numbers that when multiplied together make 55. And yes, it's a bit of trial and error, but it's a lot quicker to do. So I need two values that multiply to make 55, whose difference must be 6. We see here, I'm going to add 6 to this number. So I need to know two numbers that multiply together where the difference of 6, 11 and 5. And so therefore I can see that I do 5 times 11 is 55, meaning x equals 5. So there we go. Now you have a go. I've put up 4 questions here, and you can see that different playgrounds. I've put out the expressions, as you can see in the center here, what the expressions are, and I've told you the area. So what you're going to do is you're going to try and solve the value to find x in what I've just done. So pause the video now, because later on what I'm going to do is reveal to you 2 steps. First step is the process of doing it, and the final one would be the answer. So pause. Okay, welcome back. To help you, I'm writing it out as an equation here, and now I need to work out two numbers that multiply together to make 60, whose difference is 4. Two numbers that multiply to make 15, two numbers that multiply to make 14, and two numbers that multiply to make 70. And just as a clue here, as a hint, they're all whole numbers. So two numbers that multiply to make 60. That could be 5 and 12, but that difference is more than 4. Or it could be a whole range of numbers, and you've got to try and work out which two numbers they are. Here, 15, two numbers that make 15. Now this is it could be 1 and 15, granted. But if I look at the factors of 15, because that's going to help me, they're all whole numbers, that should help. And on the 14 one, again, it should become straightforward, and this is a nice whole deci number. So pause, have a go, and I'll reveal the answers. Here you go. The two numbers here were 6 times 10, so x is 6. Here it was 3 times 5, so x is 3. Here it was 2 times 7, so x is 2. And lastly, it was 7 times 10, so x is 7. Hope this has been helpful for you.